This is the airnetwork.net. Welcome to it as we get set for Huntingdon, Phillipsburg Osceola wrestling tonight. Chad States, by the way, live from Huntingdon High School. Live on the air with us. Chad, how you doing out there? Everything working out okay?
Hey, we're doing good. Just sitting here talking to my good buddy Jeff Norris about some TV shows that I need to catch up on over Christmas break. So, Hey, life's good. That's the way it should be.
Well, I hope you have that DVR rolling tonight, man. There's a big football game in the NFL. You won't want to miss that.
No, I do not have my DVR going for that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's playing. Matter of fact, I really don't care, but
I don't either.
Yeah. Hey, Chad joins us every Thursday night, by the way, normally for Thursday Night Sports Talk. We're on the air from 7 until 8 o'clock every Thursday night with Dave Shannon live from Altoona. Chad States Huntingdon and Jimmy Tide, the fantasy football guy from Johnstown. That's been a lot of fun, but we're on hiatus till after the holidays at this point, man. You know.
We are, and that's okay. It's time for us to have a little bit of a Christmas break as well.
No doubt, yeah. But I wanted to make mention we do have some upcoming events other than the wrestling match tonight. Tomorrow night, by the way, Huntingdon boys facing Bald Eagle area boys basketball. Airtime about, same time, 6:45 tomorrow night. Then in addition to that, Juniata College, I think that's coming up December 27th.
December 27th.
Yeah, Chad, you'll have two games. You'll have a double bill that day. Hopefully, well, one might be a consolation. Could be, like to see both finals, by the way. That'd be kind of cool.
It would be nice. We're definitely going to get two games. Not sure the times are to be determined. We'll figure those out whenever we can.
Yeah, and by the way, we'll throw those up on our Air Network Facebook page, by the way. So
we're starting to see the lights dim in the Huntington gym with the lone light in the center of the mat on as Phillipsburg clears the mat.
The ambiance of it all.
We're looking for the grand entrance of the 2014 Huntingdon Bearcat Wrestling team. Cheerleaders have their pom-poms up and are waving them out in front with a nice little tunnel. It's nice to see the elementary school kids with their hands out ready to slap some fives to the guys as they enter the gym. Should be out here momentarily. You can hear the background music playing.
Yep. Sounds like the whistle is being blown.
It's a little bit different than the Thunderstruck song I was used to whenever we were back in the day, Greg. But
I hear some music coming up. It's all yours. Music. Chad States live on the air from Huntingdon, Pennsylvania. Chad, have a good night and go Cats.
We will do so. We are live from Huntingdon for the Huntingdon Bearcat Wrestling versus Phillipsburg Osceola Mounties. This winter sports broadcast is brought to you by the Huntingdon VFW Post 1754 on Penn Street, OIP in downtown Huntingdon, Ted's Painting and Drywall of Huntingdon, Top's Diner of Route 22 east of Huntingdon, Images, Print Shop in downtown Huntingdon, and Penn Highlands Community College. We thank all of our sponsors for this. Huntingdon Bearcats have just entered the gym, led by senior Matt Norris, as they get around to get ready for tonight's big matchup against the Phillipsburg Osceola Mounties. Phillipsburg is a perennial AAA power, having lots of success in the years past. Names like John Kondo, Bainey's, who was also wrestled at Lockhaven with some success, but was also a state titleist. Again, Phillipsburg brings a lot of success, but so does the Huntingdon Bearcats. We are looking at an outstanding district dual team here. They are the defending 2013 AA district champions, not only at the dual level, but also at the tournament level. They are led by junior 126-pounder Colin Glorioso. Colin is a two-time PIAA state place winner, finishing third as a freshman at 106 pounds, and then last year at fifth at 113. Also at 160 pounds, we look at another super wrestler, and if you guys have not had a chance to see this kid, you really need to get out. That's 160-pounder Jacob Oliver. Jacob finished last year with a dual meet record of 41-5 and finished fourth in the PIAA state championships at Hershey. He was the District 6 champion at 145 pounds, finished in the fifth place spot at the Northwest Regionals, and then in fourth place at the PIAA state championships. As also a side note, last year at those same PIAA state championships, District 6 AA awarded their Coach of the Year, and that was awarded to none other than Huntington coach John Mikett. John enters his 15th year as the head wrestling coach of the Huntingdon Bearcats with a career record of 181 wins and 68 losses. His assistant coach tonight will be Eric Shea. Eric is a wrestling. The Shea name is notorious with wrestling, as his brother was a 1988 state champion, 132 pounds. Eric himself no slouch on the mat. As a senior, he was a District 6 champion. So Huntington's coaching staff is built for success. This team is built for success. Lofty goals are in place for this team. There is no doubt about it. We are getting ready for action here very, very soon. Looking forward to a great match tonight between these two squads. I happen to be sitting beside my longtime friend and football partner, Jeff Norris, who will help provide me with a little bit of information as we move through this evening. Those of you who know Jeff know that he is the sports writer and editor at the Daily News and has been for quite some time. We're going to see what we get tonight. High expectation levels for this Huntingdon Bearcat squad. Coach Mike has also alluded to that in the pre-match interview that was put up on the Air Network. John had talked about some of the youth that he has at the top of this lineup, and there is youth to be served. We are looking at freshman at 106 pounds, Chris Hoover. He is 2-3 on the year. Freshman Isaac Benson. He is 3-2 on the year. Coincidentally, both of those kids will receive forfeits, as I am being told. So Huntington, depending on where these weight classes start, will have a 12-point advantage due to the forfeits from Phillipsburg Osceola. At 120 pounds, we are looking at freshman Warren Shope. He will match up against freshman Matt Johnson, who is 3-3 from Phillipsburg Osceola. At 126 pounds, brings to the mat super wrestler for Huntington, Colin Glorioso, as he enters his junior year with a 7-2 record. He will either wrestle Bryce Bennett at 3-1. Bryce was a fourth-place finisher at the District 6 AAA level as a 106-pounder last year, or he will face Nathan Quick. At 132 pounds, we are looking at Tyler Scott. Tyler was a 33-8 last year. He finished 5th in District 6, just missing out on the regionals. He will be facing Levi Hughes, another sophomore who was 1-3 on the year. Levi was 3rd at 126 pounds as a freshman for Phillipsburg Osceola at the District 6 tournament. At 138 pounds, Huntington will run out Trenton Schaefer, who is 1-4 on the year. Trenton is a sophomore. He will either face Dakota Wietosh at 4-0 or Peyton Moore. The likelihood is probably Wietosh. He was 3rd at 132 pounds as a sophomore at the AAA level last year at the District 6 tournament. At 145 pounds, Jacob Maines from Phillipsburg or Rob Berger will go up against Seth Bainey or Alex Mikan. At 152 pounds, junior Drew Simpson at 3-2 or Hunter Parks will face junior Ty Laird, who is 0-2 on the year from Phillipsburg. At 160 pounds, PIAA fourth-place finisher from last year, Jacob Oliver at 6-1 versus Nick Patrick or Clint Rudy. We are now looking at the introductions out here in the mat. I will continue reading through the names on the list that I have as we get ready to introduce the wrestlers here at Huntington. At 170 pounds, we are looking at John Wagner, 5-2 on the year. John was now it is time for the national anthem.
Oh, sing, and you sing.
Good. as we conclude the national anthem here at the Huntingdon Bearcat Gymnasium and we get set for Huntingdon versus Phillipsburg Osceola, again, we would like to welcome all listeners to the Air Network as we get set for these two wrestling teams to get out here onto the mat and get started. We'll continue down through the lineup for Huntingdon. At 182 pounds, we are looking at junior Logan Fisher, 5-2 on the year. Logan has a career mark of 56-23. He wrestled 170 pounds last year. He will take on Christian Snyder, who is a sophomore, listed at 0-0 on the year. At 195 pounds, it'll be Huntington's lone senior, Matt Norris, 4-2, a District 6 runner-up from a year ago. He will face either Noah Quick at 2-2 or Micah Sidoric. At 220 pounds, it will be junior Tanner Kosick, 4-2 record on the year, versus Ed Voisey, another sophomore for Phillipsburg at 1-3. And at 285 pounds for Huntington, it will be sophomore heavyweight Jacob Edwards, who is 0-1 on the year, versus sophomore Jared Anderson, who is 0-2 on the year. Again, welcome to the Air Network. We would like to thank the following sponsors: to Huntington VFW Post 1754 on Penn Street, OIP in downtown Huntington, Ted's Painting and Drywall of Huntington, Top's Diner on Route 22 east of Huntington, Images Print Shop in downtown Huntington, and Penn Highlands Community College. Matt Norris, 195-pounder, was just announced as we are getting set for live action. Again, tonight's referee is known far and wide across the region. It is none other than Bruce Hasselrig. Everybody knows, or a lot of people know from the wrestling community, who his nephew was, wrestling great Carlton Hasselrig, who was a PIAA state champion from Johnstown, and also a 3-time NCAA Division II and 3-time NCAA Division I national champion. When I was talking to some of the coaches behind the scenes here, they're all glad to hear that Mr. Hasselrig will be doing the refereeing tonight. You know, one thing you look out of a referee specifically on the wrestling mat is somebody that's not noticed. And Bruce has been doing this for a lot of years, not only at the high school level, but also at the collegiate level as well. So it's always good to see somebody that you know is not going to be controversial, but is also going to call it fairly. As we both teams are now clearing the mats, captains are going to come out to the center of the mat. It looks like Mr. Hasselrig is going to go through a couple things. Both teams shake hands. Captains for tonight for Huntington are Jacob Oliver, Colin Glorioso, and Matt Norris. As we get set, it looks like the match is going to start at 138 pounds, which will be a matchup between sophomore Trenton Schaefer from Huntington, 1-4. His last match out was against BEA. He dropped a 3-0 decision to Mike Kashik. He will either be going up against Dakota Witosh or Peyton Moore, and we will wait to see who his opponent is going to be, as that has not been decided as of yet. If it is Witosh placed third at the AAA District 6 tournament last year, so he will be a formidable opponent for Schaefer. Schaefer also played on the Huntington football team, varsity team this year, so a decent athlete in his own right. Both wrestlers are over here at the head table checking in. I'll check with Jeff to see who we think this is going to be. It is who I thought it was going to be. It will be Dakota Witosh, as both wrestlers now put on their anklets. Schaefer will be wearing the red anklet and the white singlet for the Bearcats, and Witosh the green and the navy blue and white singlet. There's a tie-up in the middle of the mat. Witosh in on a quick single leg and takedown for 2 as he controls Schaefer in the middle of the mat. Schaefer looking to get out from bottom and struggling, but Witosh doing really good, has a hold of a real nice tight waist down and breaks Schaefer back down onto the mat. There is no riding time in high school, so anything that Schaefer is doing should be working off pinning combinations and trying to get near fall points. Again, Witosh out with a quick takedown in the first period, 1:29 set to go. Witosh still in control, now trying to bridge, trying to look to turn Schaefer to his back. Schaefer bellying out on the bottom. Now it gets getting flipped over. Now it looks like Witosh is stacking him up. There it looks like we're going to get some back points out of this. Referee Hasselrig awards 3 near fall points to Witosh. He is quickly out to a 5-0 lead at the 104 mark of the first period. Running an arm bar across the back of Schaefer. Schaefer trying to bridge out of this and now comes to his feet. Weetosh trying to run a half Nelson on him. And now we've lost headgear from Schaefer. It looks like we're throwing some caution out, and Schaefer's really working for the escape. Weetosh really strong on top. Still in control, 5-0, 40 seconds left in the first period. Weetosh in control here at the near side of the mat. Now we have out of bounds here by both wrestlers. We'll reset in the center. Schaefer will get his headgear back on. Weetosh looking really strong on top. Schaefer really struggling to try to get out on the bottom, at least score some points here in the first period. 35 seconds left to go. And we have another breakdown on Weetosh to Schaefer. Schaefer bellying out on the mat. Again, trying to run. Weetosh running the arm bar behind him and looking to turn. 21 seconds left as he runs it over, and no, Schaefer bridges out of it, and we've got 2 more near fall points from Weetosh as he exposed the back twice again. So now he is out to a 7-0 lead with 10 seconds, 8 seconds left to go in the first period. Now it looks like Weetosh has Schaefer to his back. Schaefer bridging out of it again, trying to stay off his back. 2 seconds left on the period, 1 second left on the period, and he evaded the pin. But we're going to get 3 more near fall points as Weetosh builds up his score to 10-0 after the first period. Weetosh looking really, really strong. Not much that Schaefer can do. Schaefer is going to take bottom on the second period. It was his choice at 138 pounds. We are underway again here in the second period, 1:56 to go. Weetosh again looking for control on top and looking to get that push on. It looks like he's got a cradle hooked up or is trying to. Schaefer is valiantly trying to bridge out of this, but I don't know how much success he is going to have as Weetosh really has something hooked up here. He's really got it hooked up. And in fact, here goes Schaefer right now. He's told it back over. We've got 3 more back points coming up and a fall at the 134 mark of the second period. We have a pin by Dakota Weetosh and a 6-0 lead for Phillipsburg Osceola. Now we will run out to 145 pounds. It will be sophomore Seth Bainey, who is 1-0 on the year. And we will wait to see who he is going to get.
Now wrestling at 145, Jacob Maines.
It is Jacob Maines. Jacob Maines versus Seth Bainey at 145 pounds. Wrestlers shake hands at the mat, and we are underway at 145 pounds. Bainey and Maines tied up in the center. Bainey on a quick double leg takedown, and it looks like he's going to get 2. There it is, 2. Bainey out with a quick takedown and a 2-0 lead in the first period. Bainey riding on top. Continues to ride on top. 1:38 to go in the period. Now he himself is trying to hook up a cradle. Maines is trying to stay out of it. There's backs to the mat. Bainey's going to pick up 2 near fall points from Bruce Hasselwig and running him over again, and it looks like we might have a pin as Maines is at Names looking to be stuck here. He's really fighting hard. We got 2 back points. 2 back points for Bainey as he runs out to a 5-0 lead. Scoreboard is saying 5-0. We got both wrestlers off to the edge of the mat. Bainey looking real strong here right now. Real strong. We'll reset the action at 145 pounds. 1:14 left to go in the first period. Bainey still on top. Maines on the bottom looking to try to get out. Bainey's got a hold of the left leg. Now he's looking to hook up a cradle, and he's got it hooked up again. Maines again. Now hook the cradle looks up. It's holding up tight and a fall. We got a fall. 1 minute in the first period for Seth Bainey as we tie this baby up. We're now all even at 6 apiece, thanks to the fall at the 1 minute mark of the first period by sophomore Seth Bainey. He will run his record to 2-0 on the year and also be 6-0 for his career. Now, at 152 pounds for Huntingdon, it'll be junior Drew Simpson, 3-3, career record in 3-2 mark, and he will wrestle Ty Laird, 0-2 on the year, a junior for Phillipsburg Osceola. Simpson happened to be the starting linebacker for the Huntingdon Bearcats in football season, so we know that he has a good set of toughness and quick legs and quick agility. As we get started here at 152 pounds, And Laird tied up in the middle of the mat, and they had scrambled to begin. Still no control as both wrestlers stay in a neutral position. Laird now shoots in for an attempted double leg takedown. Simpson sprawls out, and we've got both wrestlers out of bounds. 1:37 left to go in the first period. Simpson really beginning this year is his first year at the varsity level. Big, strong kid. Comes from a good athletic background. His dad was a heck of a football player back in the day. As Bobby racked up a lot of tackles whenever he was playing football. Both wrestlers center of the mat now, still tied up, still looking for control. Nobody now. It looks like Simpson's trying to scoop behind, and he's going to get 2 points on a takedown as he slips behind Laird for 2. So 1:05 left to go in the second period. Simpson out to a 2-0 lead for the Bearcats. Again, your match score is 6-6 based off of 2 pins. One coming at 138 pounds for Phillipsburg, the other coming by Seth Bainey at 145 pounds. Simpson still in control. 50 seconds left to go in the second period. Riding tough on top. Laird trying to escape, both wrestlers off at the edge of the mat. 2-0 lead for Simpson. 45 seconds left to go at 152 pounds. Huntingdon in the white singlets with Huntingdon printed on the back. Phillipsburg Osceola in a navy blue and white singlet. We're off. 44 seconds left to go. Simpson still in control on top, trying to hold him down, and really doesn't want to let him get out. He wants to hold him down here for the period and ride a 2-0 lead into the third, and should be able to take bottom at that point in time. Simpson riding hard on top. Still riding hard, controlling the left wrist and making sure that Laird has nowhere to go. Now a quick tight race. He breaks him down to the mat. 22 seconds left to go in the second period. Simpson still in control on top. Laird fighting to try to get to the side over here to maybe get a stop in action. Now Simpson's looking to run a half Nelson on him. 11 seconds left to go in the second period. Not much action here as Simpson looks to control. Looks like he's going to ride this thing out and end the second period with a 2-0 lead at 152 pounds. Again, for those of you who do not know, the Huntingdon varsity wrestling does not have riding time. So anytime that you are on top, you are trying to gain control. Beginning of the third period. Again, this is Chad States bringing you the second period as I am told. So all that was first period action. So we'll back up. We'll go to a 2-0 lead for Drew Simpson. Again, this is Chad States on the Air Network. Simpson with a quick throw as both wrestlers are at the neutral position. We'll come back to the center of the mat. Tied up in the middle here, 1:34 left to go in the second period. Simpson backing up a little bit. No cautions. There's a shot, single leg shot by Simpson. He's going to look to try to pick up the left leg of Laird. Laird fighting it off, sprawling off, trying to get there. Simpson still trying to work deep. Laird is able to go ahead and sprawl out of it. Now Simpson on a double leg shakedown near the edge of the mat. Near the edge, right there's two for Drew Simpson on the edge of the mat. 1:09 left to go in the second period. Simpson out to a 4-0 advantage. Simpson's last match was on Tuesday where he pinned Darren Struble in 236 from Bald Eagle area. Drew with a 3-2 record on the year, 3-3 overall as he was not a varsity wrestler last year. 1:04 to go in the second period. Laird out with a quick escape. 59 seconds left to go. 4-1 advantage for Simpson in period 2. Laird now in with a try to a single leg takedown near the edge of the mat. Both wrestlers off the edge. No takedown awarded. We are still neutral with 50 seconds left to go in the second period. Again, Simpson out to a 4-1 lead. Your match score is 6-6 based on 2 pins in the last 2 matches. Simpson now in on the left leg of Laird, trying to get a single leg here, trying to get a takedown here at the end of the second period. There's 2 more for Drew Simpson. He is now 6-1. Now he is looking to turn him over onto his back. He's got Laird on his back. He's looking for he's got 3 near fall points. Looking for the fall. There it is. There it is. At the 29-second mark of the second period, we have a fall by Drew Simpson over Ty Laird. Time of the fall will now come at 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Fall in 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Huntingdon, your team score now runs out to 12-6 in favor of Huntingdon. 12-6 in favor of the Bearcats as we move on to 160 pounds. And here we are going to have returning PIAA fourth place winner Jacob Oliver with a 6-1 record. And he is going to be facing, we'll see if we can get that. He's going to be facing Nick Patrick of Phillipsburg, who is 4-1. Both wrestlers shake hands and then beginning of the mat. Oliver, quick action. He's really heavy. It looks like we're going to get lost headgear by Oliver. We're going to have a quick stoppage here by referee Bruce Hasselrig as Oliver adjusts his headset, and we are set to go again at 160 pounds. For those of you who have not seen Oliver, he is tenacious. He is really after. He is go all the time. In fact, there's a 2-point takedown, and quickly he has Patrick to his back. So we've got a 2-point takedown, and it looks like a potential, nope, Oliver's still in control now. 1-point escape by Patrick. Oliver focused. You can just see it in his eyes. He is just completely focused on his opponent 100% of the time, all go, all the time. There he is, Oliver shooting in on a single leg attempt as Patrick backs away and is able to fight that off. 1:27 to go in the first period. Oliver looking to gain control here. Patrick with a shot in on a single leg. Oliver doing all he can to fight that off and does as both wrestlers edge off the side of the mat. 1:18 left to go in the first period. A 2-1 lead for Jacob Oliver. Again, your bout score 12-6 in favor of the Bearcats. Oliver and Patrick tie up here in the middle of the mat. A little flipping around by Patrick as he tries to stay away from another shot by Oliver. You just see the concentration on Oliver. He's just, just kind of almost like looking to see what he can try to build in. There he tries to do a quick little throw and get by. Now he's in on a single leg at Patrick. Patrick trying to fight it off. Now he's turning that into a double leg, and it's going to be a 2-point takedown for Jacob Oliver. 47 seconds left to go in the first period. Oliver's out to a 4-1 lead and in total control of this match. He's got a heavy, tight waist on Patrick as Patrick is broken down in the middle of the mat. 37 seconds left to go in the first period at 160 pounds. Again, to throw a lot of compliments Jacob Oliver's way. He was a District 6 champion at 145 last year. Has now bumped up two weights to 160 pounds, but I got to believe he's going to be down to 152 pounds by the time tournaments wrestle, maybe even by Christmas. Looks like Patrick is trying to get out on an escape here. 11 seconds left to go. Oliver still trying to take control, and we have a 1-point escape for Patrick. 6 seconds left to go in the first period. A 4-2 score for Oliver. And it looks like the score is going to remain that way as we end the first period. Choice goes to Phillipsburg. Patrick is going to choose. He's going to defer. He's going to give it to Oliver, who is going to take down to begin the second period. Oliver finished 5th in the Southwest Regional last year. Also at his weight class was Penn State recruit Jason Nolf. The two didn't match up, but that would have been a heck of a match to see as both of them are tenacious. Oliver out, looks like going to be out quickly for the escape. Not quite yet, still close. There he is, out. So now we have a 5-2 lead as Jacob Oliver quickly gets to his feet over Nick Patrick of Phillipsburg Osceola. 1:40 to go in the second period at 160 pounds. Both wrestlers tied up in the center of the mat, both looking to gain control. Little wrist action here, little head action there. Oliver tries to duck out of the way. He sprawls back on a Patrick shot. And Oliver is holding his ground, is trying to slip behind him. Both wrestlers exit the mat. 1:21 left to go in the second period. Again, a 5-2 score for the sophomore, Jacob Oliver. Jacob brings in, it was 41-5 last year as a freshman, and just an outstanding initial campaign. He is 6-1 on the year, losing in the finals of the prestigious King of the Mountain tournament to Devin Austin of Penn Trafford in a narrow 3-2 decision. Oliver now trying to work for a takedown. Looks like Patrick trying to get in on a shot. Oliver fighting off Patrick's shot, and it looks like Patrick has taken down Oliver, taking him down to his back, and wow, there's something you just don't see all that often. We now have a 5-4 score as Nick Patrick was able to slide by and get a real slick a double leg takedown on sophomore Jacob Oliver. And take a picture of that, folks. You just don't see that all that often. Oliver's going to try to quickly get to his feet and get out for the 1-point escape. He's trying to, Patrick is hanging on to his right foot as Oliver tries to get it loose from him. Both wrestlers off the edge of the mat. Patrick is still going to stay in control. We have 36 seconds left to go in the second period in a 5-4 match, which has to be a lot closer than what people expected. To say that high expectations are on Jacob Oliver is to say the very least. Again, when you go out into the PIAA tournament and finish fourth, coming into the year, you're going to have some high expectations. Oliver tries to sit out and spin, and he's trying to get the one-point escape, and he should have it as both wrestlers near the edge of the mat. Patrick valiantly trying to hold on, and it is as Oliver turns back into him. We've got 23 seconds left to go, and still Patrick in control on top as Oliver is desperately trying to clear that ankle from Patrick, who is doing a super job of holding it on and not allowing Jacob to get that escape point here in the second period. 23 seconds left to go, and Jacob Oliver will now get that one-point escape as he sits and turns out of it. We have a 6-4 lead for Oliver in the second period as we get to the close. 10 seconds left to go. Both wrestlers in a neutral position, tied up here in the middle. And Patrick in quickly on another clamp. Jacob trying to fight that one off. 5.5 seconds left to go as both wrestlers just exited the edge of the mat. Back to the center, tying up. It looks like we're just going to end the second period here with a 6-4 lead for Jacob Oliver. Again, your match score is 12-6 in favor of Huntingdon. While we have a quick time, we would like to say thanks to Top's Diner for keeping it fresh. Open 7 days a week with homemade foods and friendly service for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Top's Diner on Route 22 east of Huntingdon. We have a caution as we start the third period on Jacob Oliver as he went a little bit before the whistle on Nick Patrick. Again, a little bit of a surprise here at 160 pounds as Jacob Oliver only leads 6-4. He was out to a 4-0 lead, and Patrick has built it back on the prowess of 2 takedowns and an escape, and now he is quickly out on escape. So we have a 6-5 lead for Oliver with 1:51 left to go in the third period. Both wrestlers trying to look for the advantage here. Again, Huntingdon in the white singlet, wearing the red anklet. Phillipsburg in the navy blue singlet, wearing the ring. Now we have a double A takedown, and to his back went Patrick, but he spun over on his belly, so we've got a 2-point takedown for Oliver. It is now out to an 8-5 lead, 1:27 left to go in the third period. Oliver on top, really working the wrist pretty heavy. Now tries to do a reach around on to gain control of the right hand. Now he tries to pull that back and is working his head into the arm, trying to look for a cradle or some sort of pinning combination out of what he's got here so he can get some back points and really try to cushion this lead. Although when I say cushioning, I think that a lot of people did not expect Nick Patrick to put up this type of fight against somebody the caliber of Jacob Oliver. Nonetheless, it has been a very, very good match, a very entertaining match, and Patrick has well held his own. Patrick was a third-place finisher at 160 pounds at the AAA level last year at the District 6 tournament as a sophomore. So definitely bringing the tradition of Phillipsburg Mountie wrestling to the match here this evening. We got 30 seconds left. Oliver still in control, still trying to look for some sort of cradle. Holding on to a tight waist here in the center of the mat. 22 seconds left to go. 8-5 lead for Jacob Oliver. Again, your bout scored in the favor of 12-6 of Huntingdon. 13 seconds left to go. Still trying to work for a tilt is Oliver to get some near fall points. And Patrick is out for an escape with 7 seconds left to go. 8-6 lead. Patrick is going to try to have to get a takedown, but it's not going to happen. We are going to have an 8-6 victory by the narrowest of margins for Jacob Oliver at 160 pounds. It's going to run your match score 15-6 in favor of the Bearcats as Jacob Oliver gets his hand raised. Again, thanks to Ted's Painting and Drywall of Huntingdon, providing professional license service at affordable prices. Call Ted's Painting and Drywall at 641-0479 to return the luster of your home. Again, this is Chad States on the Air Network as we bring you our initial broadcast of Huntingdon Bearcat Wrestling. Tomorrow night we will also be on the air with boys basketball as the Huntingdon Bearcats take on the Baldwin area Eagles in a hoops clash as we get the boys basketball season kickstarted. At 170 pounds, we are going to have John Wagner from Huntingdon, 5-2, and we are going to have Clint Rudy from Phillipsburg Osceola out on the mat against Wagner. Both wrestlers are tied up in the center of the mat as we are underway. 170 170 pounds. Wagner, for those of you who have followed Huntington football, know that he was pretty much the do-everything player, offense, defense, special teams, you name it, John Wagner did it. Had an outstanding campaign on the gridiron and is looking to reciprocate that on the wrestling mats, as John was 34-11 last year, finishing third place in the District 6 tournament, and then seventh at the King of the Mountain tournament this year. So John is just, he's one of those kids that is just a super athlete in whatever he does. They're playing baseball, football, wrestling. That's it. We have a timeout for an injury here on the Phillipsburg sideline as Wagner comes over to talk to Coach Mike and Coach Shea. It looks like Rudy is going to be talking to head coach Tim McCalmy from Phillipsburg Osceola. While we have a break in the action, we're going to run down through a couple little more of our sponsors. Thanks to Penn Highlands Community College with a campus in Huntington, college close to home at an affordable price. And thanks to Images Print Shop in downtown Huntington for printing services at reasonable prices, from news, letters, brochures, and a whole lot more. Images Print Shop. Call 643-1796. So things pretty much going as scripted as we thought here tonight. Phillipsburg jumps out with a 6-0 lead as Dakota Wietosh pins Trenton Schaefer in the second period. Then at 145 pounds, we have Seth Bainey of Huntington with a pin 1 minute into the match over Jacob Maines to make your bout score 6-6. At 152 pounds, Drew Simpson for Huntington with the fall over Ty Laird. And then at 160 pounds, we have an 8-6 win for Jacob Oliver over Nick Patrick to bring your bout score to 15-6 in favor of the Bearcats. As action returns back to 170 pounds, we have Ruby from Phillipsburg Osceola and John Wagner from Huntington. Both wrestlers still in the neutral position and just ran off to the side of the mat as both of them are looking for control. 1 minute and 8 seconds left to go in the first period. Ruby really has a sore neck. He looks like he's really grimacing in pain, and Wagner's really going to work on that neck too, really hard. 0-0, and Wagner's really looking to punish him. We have a stall warning on Phillipsburg, and now a 2-point takedown by Jacob Oliver on the far side of the mat as he grabs, goes straight down on the legs and is able to come up with the takedown. So 2-point takedown for John Wagner here, 57 seconds left, and he's out to a 2-0 advantage. Both wrestlers exit the side of the mat. Wagner has elected to cut Ruby loose, so now we are at a 2-1 advantage for Wagner. Wagner, again, heavy on the head, and I mean really heavy on the head. And as you can see, Ruby's really grimacing pain. Ruby with a very faint shot in on Wagner's leg. Wagner's fighting this off. Now he has a hold of the man, turns him over, exposes the back. We're going to have a 3-point near fall and a pin at the 37-second mark of the first period. We have a fall for John Wagner, At 1 minute and 22 seconds, we have a fall for John Wagner. Your bout score goes to 21-6 in favor of the Bearcats. And Wagner really had Ruby in all kinds of trouble that whole match, and you could just see it on Ruby's face. You really could. He just was really having a tough time with the aggressiveness that Wagner was bringing out to him. At 182 pounds, Huntington is going to run out junior Logan Fisher. He is going to be going up against, sophomore Christian Snyder for Phillipsburg Osceola. Who is it? Joe Bickle. It'll be Joe Bickle. Joe Bickle, as I'm corrected by Jeff Norris. Joe Bickle. And Logan Fisher out to a quick 2-0 lead on an initial takedown, and is really working heavy on the head, trying to climb the ladder, so to speak, and work over Bickle and try to get some near fall points here and pad that 2-0 lead. 1:32 left to go in the first period. And there he goes. He's trying to work the half. He works the half, and he's got Bickle on his back exposed. Hasselrig is looking. We've got 3 near fall points in play, and now Logan is really starting to squeeze hard. He's really got on in a fall. We've got a fall at 48 seconds into the first period. for Logan Fisher. So you can see this is the meat and potatoes of the Huntington lineup, and this is where they really, really can do damage. And you can see that we've got 2 consecutive falls for the Bearcats, one by John Wagner at 1:22 and another one by Logan Fisher at 48 seconds as Huntington runs out to a 27-6 lead over Phillipsburg Osceola. At 195 pounds, we have Matt Norris. And for Phillipsburg, we are going to have Brad Reynolds. Is that who we're looking at? Noah Quick for Phillipsburg Osceola. His action continues to be fast and furious here at Huntington. Both wrestlers in the center of the mat. Noah Quick and Norris tying up here. Matt Norris, a seasoned veteran. There he looks like a fireman's carry straight over to his back for Quick. No, there's 2. There we go, 2. And straight to his back and a 5-point move for Matt Norris. Referee Hasselrig has 3 in pocket for Norris. He's got 5 points on the board, 1:25 to go. Quick is really trying to fight off of his back and trying to bridge out, but Norris is going to tighten this sucker up. You can just see it coming. He throws his leg over the top of Quick and is now driving his chin into the shoulder of him and is now going to really try to press down hard. Here we go. 1:08 left to go. Hasselrig's looking. Daylight is getting bleak on Quick here. Norris is getting up near the top and is trying to push it over. I'll give Quick credit. He's really doing a good job of fighting off this pin. 54 seconds left to go. Quick still on his back, trying to fight off. And there it is. There you go. 50 seconds left to go in the first period. So you have a fall at the 1:10 mark again for Huntington. 1 minute, 10 seconds. You have a fall from Matt Norris as Huntington just continues to put the pounding on Phillipsburg here in the early going of this match. 33-6 in favor of Huntington as we drop up to the 220-pound weight class. And Tanner Kosick, who brings his 4-2 record against Ed Voisey of Phillipsburg Osceola at 1-3. Again, thanks to Original Italian Pizza Shop on Washington Street in downtown Huntington. From sandwiches to subs, plus your favorite beverage, call OIP at 643-0665 or 643-0666 for the best food and the lowest prices in town. Kosick with a quick headlock, taking Boise to his back. Another 5-point move for the Bearcats, and we've got Kosick looking hard to get the pin here. 1:39 left to go. Referee Hasselrig is spending a lot of time looking to see whether there's any daylight between these Phillipsburg Osceola shoulders, and there's the fall at the 31-second mark this time for Huntington. So I got to believe what Coach Mikett is seeing. He's really enjoying here as we have 4 consecutive falls for the Bearcats in 5 out of the last 6 matches for Huntington as they really jumped this team score out to 39-6 over Phillipsburg Osceola. And we also have 2 forfeits coming up at 1:06 and 1:13. So things are going pretty fast and furious here in Huntington. At heavyweight, we have Jacob Edwards from Huntington. Sophomore, 0-1 on the year as he was pinned in 8 seconds by Josh Fry from BEA. He will be going up against sophomore Jared Anderson of Phillipsburg Osceola, who is 0-2. So both these wrestlers really getting their feet wet at the varsity level, and both of them happen to be looking for the first win. It looks like Edwards is able to sneak behind Anderson and get him down to the mat, break him down. Maybe no, it's 2 points for Phillipsburg as Anderson was able to reverse Edwards. Edwards really had control, but as both wrestlers went down to the mat, Anderson was able to roll through and gain control and get 2 points on the takedown. Again, both wrestlers neither wrestler has a victory on the year, so both of them are looking for their first win on the season, and this will go a long way in helping the development of these 2 kids. Anderson on top, trying to hook up a cradle. Now it looks like Edwards is coming through, has the ankle of Anderson. He's trying to get through on a reversal, but Anderson dives in, grab the ankles of Edwards, and we've got a stalemate in the center of the mat. 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go in this heavyweight bout. We are at 285 pounds here in Huntington. This is Chad States on the Air Network. 2-0 in favor of Jared Anderson. And, you know, if you've been to high school wrestling matches, you never know what you're going to get out of the heavyweight matches. These are definitely something that you never walk away from. and always keep your eyes on it because you never know what you're going to get out of these wrestlers whenever they're out here. Anderson still on top, tries to bring over Edwards. Edwards flips over for reversal and quickly has Anderson brought to his back. And he's trying to look for a pin as Anderson works his way out of it. No, not yet. We've got back points being counted on Anderson. And we've got a 2-point reversal for Edwards. 3 points. And we've got a potentially dangerous situation. So 2 points on the back for Edwards are being awarded. 2 points on a reversal. We've got a 1-point escape due to the potentially dangerous. No, not a 1-point escape. We've got a potentially dangerous on Edwards. So we're out to a 4-3 lead for Edwards. 31 seconds left to go in the first period. Edwards trying to work Anderson over. Shoots the half. You can hear the crowd's pretty excited about this kid trying to get his first win out here on the year. Again, Edwards in his first varsity match last time out. Did not last long against the Baltimore, an experienced Baltimore area wrestler at that. Edwards quickly down on the ankle of Anderson and still in control. 2 seconds, 1 second. Anderson bellies out. That's the end of the first period with Edwards on top, 4-3. Edwards will have the choice here to begin the second period. He looks to his coach, and looks like Coach Mike is telling him to defer. Edwards defers to the second period. Anderson will have his choice and decides to go neutral. So both wrestlers will be on their feet to start the second period. Again, 39-6 in favor of the Bearcats. Just a very, very strong outing so far. 5 pins in the last 6 bouts for Huntington as they jump out to a 39-6 lead. As I look down this Huntington bench, both wrestlers are tied up in the center of the mat. Anderson tried a quick trip on Edwards. Edwards would have nothing of that. 1:38 left to go. Still a 4-3 lead for Edwards. So again, I look down this match, and all eyes from the Huntington bench are on Edwards, really rooting him hard. Now Edwards is in on a headlock. He's trying to give Anderson the throw to his back. Both wrestlers are trying to fall off, and they end up going out of bounds. Edwards really had a headlock tied up there and tried to step through and get Anderson thrown to his back, but Anderson would have none of it. Both wrestlers fighting hard and giving a maximum effort out here. It's always good to see, two kids that are relatively even really go at it and fight hard, and that's exactly what we've got going on here. 1:07 left to go in the second period. And Edwards quickly sneaks around and is able to break down Anderson, but Anderson, no points awarded yet, And Edwards steps over and he's got Anderson in all kinds of trouble. Driven to his back, we got a 2-point takedown for Edwards. We've got a fall for Edwards. We have a fall for Edwards at 51 seconds to go in the second period. So that is a fall at 3:09. 3:09 for Edwards. As Huntington gets their 5th fall in a row. Fall again at 3:09 at the heavyweight bout for sophomore Jacob Edwards as he gets his first win of the year. And Huntington jumps out to a 45-6 lead. We are now going to have 2 forfeits as Chris Hoover at 106 and Isaac Benson at 113 will receive forfeits in this match. Thanks to VFW Post 1754 on Penn Street in Huntington, where the VFW continues to serve community every day. The VFW Post 1754 on Penn Street in Huntington. As Isaac Benson steps out to the mat and is able to get his hands raised, we will now move on to 120 pounds, where freshman Warren Shope, 2-3 on the year, will face off against freshman Matt Johnson, who is 3-3. Thanks to those forfeits, Huntington now races out to a 57-6 lead in this dual match of District 6 powers, 57-6. So I got to believe that Coach Mike knew that his Bearcats had a really good shot at winning a lot of these bouts. I just don't know if he knew that he was going to get 6 pins in the first 8 bouts of the evening. As we've got action at 120 pounds, Matt Johnson is quickly in on a single leg of Warren Shope near the far side of the mat. Shope is broken down, and we've got both wrestlers off on the edge. They both scoot back to the middle. And Johnson will remain in control. Johnson again 3-3 on the year. Shope 2-3. Shope coming off a loss, I believe, as I looked that up. Yes, he was pinned in the Baltimore area match at 106. But again, he's a freshman. He's learning his way. We have Johnson trying to work a half Nelson and spin Shope off to his back. Shope effectively able to fight that off, as now Johnson is really trying to gain wrist control. He's heavy on the wrists of Shope here in the center of the mat, as we are at 1 minute to go in the first period. A 2-0 lead for freshman Matt Johnson. Now he's trying to work an arm bar as he's trying to put over Shope, and there goes Shope to his back as he's got arm bars ratcheted in pretty tight, and it's going to be really tough for Shope to be able to get out of this one. And there's the quick pin for Matt Johnson. At 1:15 of the first period, we have a fall for Matt Johnson. So it will run your team score to 57-12 in favor of the Bearcats of Huntingdon, as Matt Johnson gets his hand raised. We will move to 126 pounds and state place winner Colin Glorioso. And for those of us who have followed Huntingdon wrestling over the years, we know that we're truly watching one of the special ones roll through here. Glorioso finished 5th in the state last year as a sophomore. He was third in the state as a freshman at 160 pounds. He's looking at an 86-11 overall record and was a Southwest Regional champ last year. He is all focus all the time. He wrestled at the Power Aid tournament, the Super 32, and placed 16th out of 70 kids. So Colin really trying to do those extracurricular things outside of the program to build up his wrestling skills. Colin, again, like I said, just one of those special kids to roll through any type of program. He is only a junior. He will have next year. He is wrestling at 126 pounds, so he's up 2 weight classes over last year where he wrestled at 113. Glorioso, I would imagine, will not remain at the 126-pound level all season long. I've got to believe that he will drop down to 120 probably over the holidays, somewhere in there, and nestle in to be a very sizable 120-pounder moving into the District 6 tournament later on in the year. We now have action started at 126 pounds. Glorioso of Huntingdon, and I believe it's Bennett or Quick. Jeff, as I ask it, is Bennett, Bryce Bennett of Phillipsburg Osceola, 3-1 record on the year for the Mounties. Again, Huntingdon really dominating the action here tonight, specifically in the upper weights, kind of as expected, but I don't know if Coach Mike had expected all of those pins to start flying through. Both wrestlers really getting after it here. Still no control. Minute 35 left to go in the first period as both wrestlers were off the mat. Now, Glorioso in on a double leg takedown real quick, looking for control, trying to fight control. And now, all of a sudden, Bennett throws in a whizzer. He's trying to fight off the shot by Glorioso. Glorioso still trying to work here towards the edge of the mat, trying to free his left arm from Bennett. Bennett really holding tight on that whizzer, really holding tight on it. Really doing a good job, and we've got a stalemate. 1:14 left to go at the 126-pound match. Again, as a sophomore, Glorioso 40-4, and as a freshman, 39-5. Just wrestling some top-flight kids throughout. And when Colin loses, he's not losing to just every regular day Jones. He is losing to, the best of the best in the state of Pennsylvania, and we know what that means. Glorioso here, heavy on the head, really looking to try to gain an advantage, but Bennett doing a real nice job of holding off any of Glorioso's attempts on takedowns. 50 seconds left to go in the first period as Glorioso and Bennett return to action here. Both still tied up here at the end of the mat as they both look for control. Bennett kind of scooting off the edge of the mat. Glorioso pushing him off. Glorioso looks like he's the stronger of the two, and that's why I think that the drop to 120 will really do him justice later on the year. Now, Glorioso quickly in on the left leg of Bennett, trying to lift it up in the air and gain control. Bennett, again, really doing a nice job fighting off the shots by Glorioso, really doing a nice job. When you wrestle someone of the best, it really brings out the best in you, and that's what we're seeing out of these now. Glorioso has Bennett to his back in kind of the defensive position. Now that we got a 2-point takedown for Glorioso and 2 near fall points as well. So Glorioso out to a 4-0 lead here at the end of the first period, and we're going to get the horn right about now. 4-0 for Colin Glorioso at the end of the first period. Glorioso looking to, now we've got it looks like both wrestlers went neutral here in the second period. Glorioso heavy on the head on Bennett. Really heavy, really applying the pressure. Bennett trying to fight off every and all shot that Glorioso does. And I got to say he's doing an admirable job of that. A very admirable job of that. Bennett and Glorioso at the edge of the mat. We've got 1:33 left to go in the second period. 4-0 in favor of Carlin Glorioso. This is Chad States on the Air Network, and special thanks to Greg Banks back in the studio in Johnstown for bringing you this special broadcast of Huntingdon Bearcat Wrestling. Again, if you haven't listened before, Huntingdon out to a 57-12 advantage on the strength of 5 consecutive pins in the upper weights for the Bearcats. We are now at the 126-pound match. Colin Glorioso out to a 4-0 lead on Bryce Bennett, and now out to a 6-0 lead as he gets a takedown here at 1:04 in the second period. We're also looking to turn Bennett as they approach the score side of the mat here. We're also looking for wrist control. Bennett kind of bottomed out on the bottom as wrestlers kind of edge off the mat. Kudos to referee Bruce Hasselrig, as I had said at the beginning of the broadcast. You always look for a referee who is not noticed, and that's one thing that you have not noticed tonight is Bruce Hasselrig, and that's always a good thing. Whistle blows, and Glorioso out to a quick armbar of Bennett as Bennett bottoms out, and Glorioso is looking to give him a tilt. Colin really trying to flip him over, and he gets Bennett over to expose his back. And we've got Hasselrig counting. We've got 3 near-fall points for Colin Glorioso, who's going to be out to a 9-0 lead, which gives him a major decision at this point in time. As we end the second period, or get ready to end the second period, there's the near-fall points being awarded as Bennett's able to work back to his belly. Now Glorioso in with a cradle. 5 seconds there is the end of the second period. Glorioso out 9-0, and he will take bottom here to try to jump out to a 10-0 lead over Bryce Bennett of Phillipsburg Osceola. And we've got a quick reversal by Glorioso. He is now out to an 11-0 lead and pretty much dominating this match. As he's able to run an armbar, and now he's got Bennett in all kinds of trouble. We've got 3 more near-fall points for Glorioso. As Bennett now works back to his belly, we've got 3 near-fall points, 14-0 in Glorioso. And it looks like we're going to be in the tech fall area as here goes Glorioso on what is another turn, more near-fall points, and we are going to get the tech fall, I think. There it is, 2 near-fall points awarded to Glorioso. He is going to win this match by a final score of 16-0 over Nick Bennett, as he really just turns it on and dominates after I want to say kind of a sluggish start to the match, but Glorioso, just being the super wrestler that he is, turns it on, and we are now out to a 57-12 lead. I think if the points, nope, there they are, the points are awarded now, 62-12 in favor of the Bearcats of Huntingdon. We now move action to 132 pounds. Tyler Scott, 3-2, versus Levi Hughes of Phillipsburg Osceola. And these lightweights, bear with me, folks, these can go quick. Hughes on a quick double-A takedown of Scott. Scott now tries to fight this off. He's coming through, working off, and there we got an escape. So now it is a 2-1 lead for Levi Hughes of Phillipsburg Osceola. For those of you listening, please return to the airnetwork.com or TuneIn Network. So we can listen to the boys' basketball action tomorrow night as Huntingdon faces Bald Eagle Area here at Huntingdon Area High School. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. Greg Banks and I will go on air at 6:45, just like we did tonight. It is on the airnetwork.net as we promote scholastic sports throughout the region. Tonight's matchup, Huntingdon versus Phillipsburg Osceola. We are at the 132-pound match. Tyler Scott of Huntingdon versus Levi Hughes of Phillipsburg Osceola. Hughes was third in the district last year, AAA, at 126 pounds. And Tyler Scott was fifth, I believe, in the district, just missing out in regionals, but ran up an outstanding 33-8 record. And Scott, quite frankly, is one of these kids where Coach Mikan is really looking forward to getting him through 2 states. He really believes in him. Tyler Scott is an outstanding talent and really thinks that he can move this kid on to the PIAAs, as Huntington could probably get as many as 7 wrestlers into Hershey this year, which would be an all-time high. We are at 50 seconds left to go in the first period. Levi Hughes still maintaining a 2-1 lead. Both wrestlers are neutral here at the center of the mat and looking for control. Hughes in on another single leg of Tyler Scott. No takedown awarded as Scott is able to get his ankle free, and we are neutral again. 35 seconds left to go in the 132-pound bout for Huntington and Phillipsburg Osceola. And both wrestlers, the action's kind of slowed here a little bit. Wrestlers off to the edge of the mat. Hasselrig will call them back to the center of the mat. And as we wrap down the first period, 19 seconds left to go. Hughes trying to control Scott's wrists and vice versa, as both are just kind of jockeying for position here at the end of the first period. 2-1 lead for Levi Hughes of Phillipsburg Osceola. First period ends. Choice goes to Phillipsburg, and Hughes looks over, and he's going to defer. And it looks like Scott is going to choose bottom. So one of the rare matches this evening where we've got one that's pretty close. 2-1 lead for Levi Hughes. We start the second period. Hughes in on a quick tight waist of Scott. Now Scott trying to free his left ankle. Hughes able to lift up on it. He's trying to trip Scott down as Scott is hopping on one leg, and now both wrestlers are off on the edge of the mat, returning back to the center position. Hughes still in control here in the second period. 2-1 lead. As Tyler Scott of Huntington looks to try to get out on bottom and even up his score, and he does. We now have a 2-2 score as Tyler Scott is able to come out from on bottom. 2-2. Tyler Scott and Levi Hughes of Phillipsburg Osceola. Good wrestling match here. Both wrestlers in the center of the mat. 1:25 left to go in the second period. Huntington in a white singlet with a red anklet, and Phillipsburg Osceola in their traditional navy blue and white singlets and in the green anklet. And both wrestlers just tied up here. This is a really good, solid, evenly contested wrestling match. And you can tell because the gym is kind of quieted down as the intensity level is kind of ratcheted up for people to look at. 1:02 left to go. Still a 2-2 score in this 132-pound match. And this will be the final match of this evening for both teams. Huntington out to a 62-12 and have the match in hand, and really it's never been in doubt. Both wrestlers scrambling towards the edge of the mat, and we've got Hughes trying on a double leg takedown, and they've been called out of bounds. So both wrestlers return back to the middle of the mat. 2-2 your score at 132 pounds. 41 seconds left to go. Again, we're still in the neutral position as both are kind of jockeying for position. The next takedown in this match is going to be very crucial as to determining who's going to win. Hughes deferred, so he will take bottom in the third. So it'd be really important for Tyler Scott to get a takedown here because he's really going to have to hold down Levi in the third period to negate that 1-point escape that he's going to be looking for. 16 seconds to let go. 16 seconds left to go in the second period. 2-2 your score at 132 pounds. End of the second period. 2-2 your score. Levi Hughes will take the bottom position. And Tyler Scott on top, and Bruce Hasselrig commences action, and we've got Hughes really trying to fight out here quick, trying to get out of shoot, but Tyler Scott will have none of it. He breaks Hughes down to the mat. Hughes on both knees. Scott in control of the left leg and the left wrist of Hughes. And Hughes really doesn't have anywhere to go right now, as he is completely bellied out on the bottom. And this is exactly what Tyler Scott needs to do, prevent the escape. If Hughes gets the escape, then Tyler Scott's really got to go after a takedown quick. 130 to go in the bout here at 132 pounds. Tyler Scott, a District 6 fifth-place finisher, and Levi Hughes, a District 6 AAA third-place finisher from a year ago. Both are sophomores. Both have just left the edge of the mat as referee Bruce Hasselrig will call him back to center. 2-2 your score at 132 pounds, 1:16 left to go in the third period. Scott quickly able to break down Hughes once again to the mat. Again, playing to his advantage. Trying to get this thing to overtime on the strength of a third period ride out. Scott really looking strong on top. Now working the ankle of Hughes. Working the ankle and working the wrist. Really keeping him broken down. Hughes really not able to do anything at all. You can't even really give him a stall calling because there's just really nothing Hughes can do to be able to get on bottom. Scott really looking tough on top. 45 seconds left to go. Now Scott looking to get a tilt. Now he's looking to tilt. Now he's got an arm bar on. Are we going to see two near fall points? I can't tell whether Hasselrig is counting them out or not. I can't see his fingers, whether he's got two, but he's got Hughes in some serious trouble, but I can't tell if the back has been exposed or if we're still got parallel shoulders here. We have nothing. No call. Scott really tried to get him turned over. 21 seconds left to go. You got to credit Scott for really trying to get those near fall points, but was unable to. 15 seconds left to go in the third period as Tyler Scott is going to get the ride out, a very crucial ride out for Tyler Scott here in the third period. Now he flips over. He's trying to run another bar behind his arm, and we are going to end it at a 2-2 score. We are going to go to overtime here at 132 pounds. We'll have a 1 minute flurry of action for you here to decide your victor at 132 pounds. 54 seconds left to go as we bring you Huntingdon Bearcat Wrestling on the Air Network.net. This is Chad States with Greg Banks back in the studio, live from Huntingdon, Pennsylvania. Your bout score, Huntingdon 62, Phillipsburg 12. So the dual meet is pretty much gone at this point in time. It has been for quite some time. But this is an outstanding matchup we're getting to see at 132 pounds. Tyler Scott and Hughes, 28 seconds left to go in overtime. Both wrestlers still in a neutral position. Hughes and Scott are tied up as Hughes tries to look in on the left ankle and shoot. Hughes able to fight that off. We got 15 seconds left to go in the third period. 15 seconds left to go before we go to, I believe, the ride-out situations. There's a shot, attempted shot by Hughes here at the edge of the mat. 1 second. And that's the end of the first round of overtime as both wrestlers still remain 2-2. Referee Bruce Hassel will go flip the coin. The choice goes initially to Phillipsburg, who will take bottom. So Levi Hughes will choose bottom here. And, I sometimes get confused between college and high school, so I'm going to try to talk this through and hope my good buddy Jeff Norris can help me out here. But okay, so it will be, if Hughes is able to get out, then Scott will have that same chance immediately afterwards. So we got a 30-second ride out as Scott looking to really break him down here. If he's able to hold on, he's going to be in real good shape moving into the second overtime period. 17-7 left to go. Levi Hughes trying to come out between Scott's legs. Scott holding on to the right ankle of Hughes. Hughes trying to come out between his legs, and Scott doing a really good job controlling the ankles. I mean, an excellent job. Super job by Tyler Scott to hold on to the ankles and prevent Hughes from coming up in between, and he gets the ride out and will choose bottom. So all Tyler Scott has to do is get out in 30 seconds, and he will win this bout 3-2. This is a great match, an absolutely outstanding match. If you love wrestling, you got to lose this. There's quick hits by Scott. Hughes dipped out on the ankle. How it looks like Scott on the neck, and we've got a stalemate between the two. 20 seconds left to go. 20 seconds left to go in this, what amounts to a third overtime between the two. We are in the ride-out phase of this thing. Tyler Scott on bottom, Levi Hughes on top. Scott trying to get out. Hughes quickly down on the ankle and trying to break him down, but Scott really trying to fight out this. 12 seconds left to go. Hughes doing a good job of maintaining control. Scott has to really try to pick up his pace to get free. Scott standing up, but cannot break the grip of Hughes. Hughes is just hanging on to him, and we have got a 2-2 score at the end of 3 overtimes, and I believe they will go back to the neutral position and have another 1 minute time.
30 seconds, whoever scored first gets
Okay, so Jeff Norris has instructed me on what's to go. We're going to have another 30-second ride out period. So this effectively determines it right here then. Okay, so this is the ultimate tiebreaker. We've got Scott on bottom, it looks like, and Levi Hughes on top. So this is the ultimate tiebreaker. So if Hughes is able to ride out Scott, he will win. If Scott is able to get free, he will win here at 132 pounds. Bruce Hasselberg set the action, and we are underway here again in the ultimate ride-out phase. Hughes quickly in on the ankles of Tyler Scott and trying to break him down. Scott finally trying to get to his feet. Now he's trying to fight out loose. Hughes in on the ankle, trying to hold it loose. Scott trying to break free of his grip, and he's doing it, and he's doing it. We've got Scott with the 1-point escape with 12 seconds left to go in the ultimate tiebreaker. Tyler Scott is going to win this thing 3-2. We are going to have a 65-12 that victory for the Bearcats this evening with a climax of a great match by sophomore Tyler Scott, a 3-2 victory over Levi Hughes. What a match, folks. What a match.
Probably the closest match we had all night, Chad. Wow.
Outstanding
Man,
match.
A fantastic job. Chad stays live from Huntingdon as the Bearcats defeat handily the Phillipsburg Osceola Mats team. Meanwhile, Chad, you know what? You and I will talk a little bit. We'll summarize some of those matches tonight coming up here on the airnetwork.net. Stick around for about 3 or 4 minutes. We'll get the summary for you folks. You'll want to keep it here for all the excitement of Bearcat sports on the airnetwork.net.
Hey, Frank, some of us are going out for lunch. Want to join?
No thanks. I won't be able to make it for a while. My son's heading to a 4-year university this fall, and I'm watching every penny I can to help him with tuition.
Yeah, that can be so expensive. My daughter decided to go to Pennsylvania Highlands Community College. She'll earn her associate degree in 2 years before transferring to earn her bachelor's. I'll be able to save thousands by her attending Penn Highlands first.
Pennsylvania Highlands, really? My son is stuck on attending a 4-year university right away, far from home.
My daughter was the same until I explained to her that she'd end up with the same degree and far less debt. I don't want to see her starting out her adult life with a lot of debt. Penn Highlands just made the most sense. So, enjoy lunch.
Hey, wait for me.
I thought you couldn't afford to eat out.
That was before you mentioned Penn Highlands. How do I find out how to get my son enrolled?
I'll fill you in over lunch, but start by visiting Pennsylvania Highlands online at pennhighlands.edu.
Hey, this is Brent Miles from the Sunday Morning Drive. We're here every weekend to be an encouragement to help you kickstart your Sunday morning and to kickstart your week with the latest in praise and worship music from all over the world from different artists. And I would love it if you'd come and join me for your drive to church on Sunday. We've got all the latest in worship music from artists like John Mark McMillan, Leland, Planet Shakers, Hillsong United, and the list goes on. And I would be thrilled if you'd join me this Sunday on the Sunday Morning Drive.
Join us for the Sunday Morning Drive from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on the airnetwork.net. Need printing services done with quality, on time, and at a reasonable price? Then stop by Images Print Shop in downtown Huntingdon, where they can help you design and print brochures, business forms, business cards, newsletters, flyers, and so much more. Images Print Shop is your hometown print shop and web hosting service dedicated to excellent and quality service at affordable prices. See what Images Print Shop can do for you online at imagesprintshop.com or call us weekdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 643-1796.
Kick off your appetite with great food from Original Italian Pizza in downtown Huntingdon, where Bearcat fans huddle up before and after the big game. OIP in downtown Huntingdon provides your taste buds with appetizers, dinners, pizzas, subs, and so much more. Stop by OIP in downtown Huntingdon for a sandwich, meal, and cold drinks 7 days a week, or call ahead for takeouts at 643-0665 or 643-0666. OIP in downtown Huntingdon with the best food and the lowest prices in town.
Restore the luster of your home or business now by calling Ted's Painting and Drywall at 814-641-0479. Ted's Painting and Drywall does quality exterior and interior painting, staining, faux finishing, trim work, and wall repair. Plus, Ted's Painting and Drywall can remove wallpaper and finish drywall for one room or the whole house. Ted's Painting and Drywall, a licensed contractor offering a 20% discount to seniors and 35% discount to churches. Book your work now at Ted's Painting and Drywall. Call 641-0479.
I'm coming home. What does sacrifice mean to you? Is it giving up your time and energy to keep America safe? Is it putting yourself in harm's way to protect our nation's way of life? No? Then maybe it's giving up that third latte to take care of the heroes that do.
The VFW makes it easy to help. Just call 1-855-9-HELP-VET. That's 855-9-HELP-VET.
The VFW. No one does more for veterans.
This message brought to you by the Huntingdon VFW Post 1754 on Penn Street. If you're searching for a used vehicle, or perhaps a used boat for a leisurely trip on the lake, find them today online at penswoods.net. From things for sale or things to buy, the free classifieds at penswoods.net have it all. From houses for sale, apartments for rent, or even things to trade. penswoods.net is the region's largest site for free classifieds. Check it out today and make money or save money at penswoods.net. Well, needless to say, great night for Huntingdon Wrestling Bearcats tonight as they blast Phillipsburg Osceola in their maiden voyage at home. Chat States live, by the way, from Huntingdon High School, bringing us all the action tonight on the airnetwork.net. And before we wrap things up, Chad, I want to say again, thank you to all of our sponsors tonight, including Huntingdon VFW Post 1754 on Penn Street, OIP downtown Huntingdon, Ted's Painting and Drywall of Huntingdon, Top's Diner on Route 22 east of Huntingdon, open 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Images Print Shop downtown Huntingdon and Penn Highlands Community College. Also, don't want to forget, driven by penswoods.net. If you want to buy, sell, or trade anything, check out their free classifieds. You'll find it at penswoods.net. Driven, of course, and driving the airnetwork.net. Well, Chad, I got to say, man, it was an exciting evening of wrestling action. First time out for me in many years, listening to the excitement that you gave us here on the Air Network. Your summation, please, if you will, on tonight's match.
Well, I got to believe that Coach Mike is going to be very proud of his efforts. As the evening started out at 138 pounds, it kind of didn't go the way of Huntingdon when Trenton Schaefer was pinned by Dakota Wheatosh from Phillipsburg Osceola in the second period. But then things kind of got all kinds of ugly for Phillipsburg after that, as Seth Bainey at 145 pounds, Drew Simpson 152 pounds posted back-to-back falls, and then Jake Oliver on the power of an 8-6 victory over a very, very gamey Nick Patrick, ran Huntingdon out to a 15-6 lead. And then the rain started to really fall on Phillipsburg as John Wagner, Logan Fisher, Matt Norse, Tanner Kosick, and then at heavyweight, Jacob Edwards all recorded pins for the Bearcats. We had two forfeits, 106 and 113 pounds, all the way down to 126 pounds where we get a tech fall out of Colin Glorioso. And then the final bout of the mat at 132 pounds was a 3-2 ultimate tiebreaker. Woo. Tyler Scott of Huntingdon coming out on top over Levi Hughes to put your final score, Huntingdon 65, Phillipsburg Osceola 12. So just an outstanding evening here for the Bearcats, one that I got to believe that Coach Mike and Coach Shea are going to be very, very pleased with. I'm sure that, as coaches always do, they always see room for improvement in something, but I really don't know how much they'd be looking for. Is Huntingdon really took it to one of the perennial AAA powers in District 6, Phillipsburg Osceola tonight, Greg.
No doubt, Chad. And by the way, for those of you who might just joining us late tonight, we will re-air this on demand. Go to the airnetwork.net and check it out on our front page so the wrestlers, fans, and alums from all around the country can enjoy in that win again by the Huntingdon Bearcats over Phillipsburg Osceola. Chad, I'm looking on my schedule here real quick. I have a Belfont match actually circled here for Tuesday, January 6th. We may be able to add that possibly, but if not, the next match for us will be Mount Union at Huntingdon on January 15th. How are those Trojans looking this season?
Well, they suffered a lot of departures by seniors, so they're not nearly as strong as what they have been.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm here to tell you, anytime you can get Huntingdon and Mount Union in the gym, it is going to be loud. These communities are only 12 miles apart.
Oh, yeah.
And no matter what athletic event you get into, they get after it. So I would expect nothing less than a very ruckus crowd and a very hotly contested match. Greg, to that point, Bellefonte, when Huntington was at the King of the Mountain tournament, is the only District 6 team to finish ahead of Huntington over there.
Oh, really?
Aside from Mifflin County. Mifflin County is kind of a quad A school, so I'm really not counting them in that district. So that should be one heck of a match, and that's one we're going to try to bring you on the Air Network. January 6th, Huntington versus Bellefonte.
Right.
We're going to make that happen for you guys out there that are listening tonight.
All right, I appreciate your efforts, Chad, because I had that circled and I hadn't talked to you about it yet, but that looks like a pretty good matchup coming up on Tuesday, January 6th, as the Red Raiders of Bellefonte actually will come into Huntingdon to take on the Huntingdon Bearcats. Hey, meanwhile, tomorrow night you'll be busy again at Huntingdon High School. What do you got cooking for us, man?
We will be back here again, Huntington boys basketball. The high-flying boys basketball team from Huntington, who has some pretty lofty expectations this year as well, will take on the Bald Eagle area Eagles. Look for us at 6:45, tip at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, again from Huntington Area High School, only on the airnetwork.net.
Hey, man, you seem to be like an old hand. How long have you been doing this radio gig?
Hey, here and there, everywhere. It just depends. I just thank you for the opportunity, Greg.
Oh, man, you know what? Tonight was a lot of fun, and I look forward to tomorrow night when Bald Eagle area comes into Huntingdon to take on the Huntington boys in basketball. So I look forward to talking to you around 6:50 tomorrow night, or 6:45, Chad. Hey, meanwhile, thanks again, and thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to all the listeners out there. By the way, Chad, I will post that on our website tonight. We'll re-air that at any time. You can go on there and just click on the airnetwork.net and just click on that story, and you'll be able to bring up tonight's match. Hey, thanks again, Chad. Have a great night, buddy.
You too. Take care, guys.
Thank you. I will talk to you tomorrow night right here on the airnetwork.net as Huntingdon Bearcat basketball boys will host Bald Eagle area. Thank you for listening, and good night, folks.